time where you thought that Corey had no hit stuff and could potentially take it the distance?
I don't know if it was the questions before the game, but for some reason it popped in my head in the first inning. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I've never been in one, and I've played a lot of games, now managed in a lot of games. Never been on the receiving end, never been on the winning end. I think I've been in the booth for a couple. My dad caught a perfect game here in 1984 in Arlington. That was so much fun to be a small part of and be on the team to see Corey go out there and spin that. It truly was a privilege. And I had butterflies in that ninth inning. I'm getting a little emotional now. Even just getting to witness that was really, really special. And to see, his teammates and the excitement of everyone for Corey and just the excitement for themselves being a part of such a thing. And man, what a performance. What can you say? And I'm just so happy for him. He's such a pro, and we're talking about a guy that's been an amazing pitcher in his career, and he's got another defining and special moment.
Hey, Aaron, you mentioned the butterflies. Obviously, you're not on the mound, but just what are those nerves like in the eighth and then in the ninth inning as you're wondering, is he going to be able to complete this?
Yeah. And by the way, the game's in the balance, 2-0. It's not, we're not cruising to victory here. This is, every pitch is magnified even more because, it's a tight ball game. And, but it's, I think it's, one of the reasons we do this is to have those feelings of those competitive moments, or, where you do have those butterflies. And I know being, our fielders, a lot of good plays there. I felt like in the final few innings, Wader getting some really good jumps in the outfield, couple good plays in the infield by DJ and Gio. And I told Glaber, I'm like, you'll be in that image forever throwing that final out. And he said, man, I was nervous. And that's the thing. I could imagine playing behind him and just having that anxious, nervous feeling. But just really, really happy for him. And man, fun to witness.
Does the happiness and excitement get amplified even more knowing how much he had a battle to get back to try to regain his old form with injuries?
That's certainly a part of it. I'd like to think with any of our guys, no matter, everyone's got, a story. I think the one thing that, with Corey is, he's come here and, I don't want to say fit in well, because that's a given. He's just become entrenched in our culture and embraced in the clubhouse, I think beloved by everyone. And so I'm excited for him and his story and what he's been through as a Cy Young Award winner, one of the dominant pitchers of the game, obviously coming back from what he's been through the last couple of years to work to this point. Of course, I'm excited for that. But, I think I could paint that picture with a lot of our guys. And but tonight, we celebrate Corey Kluber in a masterful performance, pitch efficient. I looked up at one point, as he had 6 strikeouts and 40-something pitches in 4 innings. Like, he was just so efficient and did such a good job of keeping them off balance. I thought him and Higgy were great together tonight. And again, just a lot of fun to be a part of.
We go next to Eric Boland.
Aaron, you mentioned in the first inning it crossed your mind. Was there something with his stuff that just jumped out at you that it was particularly electric tonight?
No, not really. I say that I could have easily said something to Mendy. I told him afterwards, I'm like, hey, I was thinking it first. So you have those things cross your mind every once in a blue moon. Not necessarily. I certainly thought he matched up well with, I felt like if he was really mixing his pitches like we've seen him do recently, I felt like he could navigate and certainly pitch effectively. But I think the use of the cutter, the sinker, the curveball, the changeup all played a significant part in tonight. And I think he did a really good job of, keeping them off balance, keeping them guessing. And I think it's a tribute to really having command of 4 pitches.
We can go next to Brendan Cuddy.
Aaron, were there any moments tonight where you kind of had that heart in your throat feeling where you were like, oh no, this is the one that does it?
When Dahl first hit the ball to right, I got a little nervous, like, oh, that's going to be down the line, even though I know it was a little off the end of the bat. I just felt, but as soon as I looked up, Wader got such a good jump on the ball, and it turned into a fairly routine play because of the jump he got on the ball. So that one, I got a little nervous. I found myself in the last 2 innings, every ball that was hit, you think it's destined for to be a hit when probably it's not. I think just because you're probably a little bit more emotional in the moment.
We can go next to John Schwartz.
Aaron, before the game, you said that Corey had been on a progression of his command game, better and better. I assume you're disappointed to see that streak come to an end tonight, right?
Yeah, I mean, the one, I think the one walk was a 4-pitch walk where he just, lost his own there for like inexplicably almost, for what he was toiling out there tonight, and just how sharp he was all night, just 4 pitches just out of the blue, out of the zone. But, other than that, it was just a special, kind of a clinic on pitching. And again, just fun to witness.
When you have someone hitting that corner the way he was on either side all night like that, I mean, how are you able to see from the dugout really when he's on that corner? Or are you just kind of taking on faith kind of what the umpire is saying at that point?
Yeah, very difficult here. As awesome as this place is, it's a completely different and unique look from the dugout, especially, in making my ball strike judgments, from the side. We're so far up the third baseline, I'm essentially right behind the third base coach there. Almost, I guess, a little akin to Fenway as far as how deep they are down there. So it's a different view, and frankly, something that, and I think I was asked in the first game here, about about Garrett. It's hard to get your normal read on some pitches from that angle. It's a little bit different than, what we're accustomed to, 80-90% of the time.
We can go next to Tom Merriam.
Aaron, this was the 6th no-hitter in Major League Baseball this season, 7 if you count the Bumgarner 7th inning. Why do you think there have been so many no-hitters this season?
Well, I was asked that before the game, and I think it's a lot of things. I think first and foremost, I think pitchers, there's a lot of great pitchers right now. Pitching is really good. I think pitchers more than ever, based on information, know exactly what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. I think they're outfitted with the absolute right repertoire for their skill set. So you don't have a lot of guys going out there throwing pitches that they probably shouldn't throw, because you can analyze everything so much. You're able to, make little adjustments and learn things in real time almost, with, how the ball spins and how, what you should be doing a little different or whatever. And then I think the game plans, are a lot more spot on than ever, probably.
We go next to Bruce Beck.
Aaron, is this a little bit like a fairy tale in terms of what he's accomplished and how he's come back and everything that's gone into this, like in terms of being unexpected, I guess, going into this year?
I don't know about fairy tale, Bruce. This is it's not a guy that had debilitating, crushing pitcher injuries. Got hit with the line drive, kind of freakish. that he had, not something that, really special. Once you return from, these aren't debilitating things that, necessarily can wreck a career. This is just, he missed a lot of time, and we're talking about, one of the great pitchers of this, last decade. So I don't know if I'd go fairy tale. I mean, it's a great story with obviously some of the trials he's been through and not having pitched much of the last 2 seasons. But this is a guy who's great at what he does and is in great shape, is healthy, and now we're seeing, the fruits of a guy that really knows what he's doing and works really hard at his craft.
Go next to Dan Martin.
Aaron, you touched on it a little bit before, but you put Tyler Wade in the game when Lamar got hurt, and just the impact that he made on the game. What did that mean? Yeah, it was huge. I mean, obviously a huge at bat there where, 3-2 count, stings the ball in the gap. And obviously his speed gets him to third base, so he's able to score on the sac fly. I thought he played really well in right field. I thought he got some really good jumps and closed on some balls, plays that seem pretty easy and routine. I think a lot of that was because of the jumps and the athleticism he has to turn them into easy plays. And obviously he hasn't played a lot of outfield this year for us. But I think the skills set that he brings to the table was certainly on display tonight. And, he was certainly a difference maker in our game.
We go next to Marley Rivera.
Hi, Aaron. Obviously, it's not your personal accomplishment, but where does this moment rank in your career?
It's up there. It really is. I mean, I'm still processing it and emotional, because you do very much feel a part of it. We're family, we go through so much together. And, one of the great things about this job is, you get to know these guys and you want it so much for them. You want a great joy when your players go out there and have success, because all that goes on behind the scenes, all that goes into, being great at this game. As hard as this game is, as humbling as this game, and as much as this game, I don't care who you are, is going to knock you on your butt. When you see guys that you're grinding with every day and you're fighting with every day, go out and do something really special. You feel a part of that in a small way, and it makes you happy. So where it ranks, I don't know, but it's up there. It really is.
And Aaron, is there a sense of validation? Because coming into this season, it was all about Garrett Cole and the rest in your rotation. And now here's Corey Kluber, what he has accomplished.
I don't know. I mean, obviously I know that story and that narrative, but I don't think that's really permeated with those guys. Corey Kluber knows who he is, knows what he's capable of. And I would say the same goes for the rest of the rotation. And frankly, we've seen the rest of the rotation for the most part, have their share of success already in this season. So I think we all understand, the greatness that, we have in an ace in Garrett Cole, but I don't think any of the rest of our starters, I don't think that affects them. And I think partly because I think they're really confident in what they're doing, and we're seeing that.
We have Kyle Higashioka waiting, so we're going to take a final one from Lindsay Adler.
Aaron, what was Mike Harkey saying in the dugout tonight? How was he handling this?
Who's that? Oh, that's you. He was good. He was great. You'd have to ask him that. I did say to him, I turned to him before the 8th and I said, if something happens, we get in trouble here. I was telling him, who I wanted up. And he gave me a look like, shut up and walk away. I thought he was going to punch me, but, and then going into the ninth, we had a brief moment like, hey, if we're going to have Chappie up, we need to have him up now. And just so he's ready, just in case we need something. So that was about the only conversation. I mean, I guess funny conversation that we had. But he was terrific. He's been great, coming down, and obviously he knows these guys so well and is such an important part of our pitching program. And so he was terrific. And I'm sure this is a moment I know that he's going to savor for a long time too.
All right, thank you for the time, Aaron. We have Kyle Higashioka here now.